Hello, I'm Game Retainer, and in this video I'll be going over all the best ways to get books and magazines in 7 days to die. Let's jump straight in. I'm going to start off by going over the best way to get books and magazines, and that is by looting mailboxes. While there's no guarantee that there will be a magazine or a book inside a mailbox, there's a higher chance than in any other loot container in the game. The same goes for newspaper stands. While newspaper stands you primarily found in more of the dangerous biomes and dangerous areas, mailboxes can be found all over the place. There are a few nice little built-up areas, like here for example, which is located just a stone's throw from Trader Rect if you're on Naversgain. And it'll have, like here, I've searched most of these, but as you can see, plenty of mailboxes. You don't need to go inside any POIs, you don't need to tackle any zombies. Simply grab anything that's inside the mailbox and run away. It's great for the early stages of the game, particularly like days 1 through 4. The more books and magazines you can find, the better. So, straight away, after you've loaded in, start looting mailboxes. One particularly good place that's worth visiting early on is Diersville. If you're playing on Naversgain, then you can find Diersville at 890 East, 690 North, and that will bring you to the western side of the town. There are quite a few enemies, so it helps if you have a bike. If you don't know how to get a bike, you just need to complete 10 missions, I believe it's 10, for Trader Rect. I'll show you on the map. Trader Rect is not too far away. And as I mentioned previously, that's the location where there's a nice little row of houses. But if you want to get extra magazines early on, and you've got a bicycle, definitely pay Diersville a visit and go street by street, looting as many mailboxes as you can find. Next up, you're obviously going to get a decent amount of magazines and books as you make your way through a POI. However, depending on the container you're looting, you have a higher chance of getting specific magazines. For example, if you search medical supplies, there's a higher chance of you getting a medical journal. This applies to everything, so weapons, boxes, tools, the works. A great place to find Forged Ahead magazines is inside things like broken cement mixers and workbenches. Another great way of finding magazines and books is by searching dropped loot. You won't find dropped loot all that often. Mostly you'll get it in end stage POIs and after Horde Night. There are 3 variants of loot bag, yellow being the lowest tier, blue is the mid tier, and then the orange ones are the highest tier. I believe that you are guaranteed to find at least 1 magazine in the yellow bags, and as it progresses you're going to find more, and books too, and also schematics for crafting weapon mods and all sorts of great stuff. Traders will always keep a nice variation of magazines and books for you to buy. Be sure to check all the pages, as there may be some more further along. It's not always, but it depends on how much of the secret stash and to what level you've unlocked. But every few days you can see here the restock day. Every trader will refresh what they have in stock. Definitely worth checking. I know that dukes can be hard to come by in the early stages of the game, but certain, especially books more so than magazines, some of the books are incredibly valuable early on, so keep an eye out with the traders. Sticking with traders for a bit longer, completing missions is a great way of earning magazines and books. Primarily, these bundles. You'll get these quite often. If you have invested 4 points into the Daring Adventurer, then you will get 2 rewards when you complete a quest, giving you 2 chances then at getting some magazines or books that you don't yet know. It's impossible to make a video about finding books and magazines if I don't include Crack-a-Book. If you're on Naversgain, there are a total of 4 Crackerbook locations. There is Country Crackerbook, which is located at 2077 East, 27 South. Crackerbook Cafe, which is at 552 West, 1785 North. Crackerbook HQ, which is where I'm standing right now, which is located at 1759 East, 1721 South. And then the regular Crackerbook, which can be found at 1369 East, 697 North. Crackerbook locations can be quite good for finding all sorts of magazines. You won't get as many as you would have thought. If it's your first time clearing, you might be disappointed, but there are at least a handful of shelves where you can loot magazines. The one I'm at now, I don't think is particularly great. Crackerbook Cafe, in my opinion, is a better place to search for magazines. But if you happen by a Crackerbook store, definitely take a little look inside. You might find some things that you don't yet know. This next one's not so much a way to get more books and magazines, but to get more out of your books and magazines. I have covered this in a previous video, so if you've seen that, I apologise, feel free to skip ahead. For those who don't know, there are 2 possible icons next to a book or magazine. There's an open icon, which means you've read it or you've completed the set, and there's a closed icon, which means that you need to read it in order to complete the set. So we'll use that. I get a nice amount of XP there. Once I've learnt it and I've got an open copy of a book, don't read it. Instead, sell it, because not only will you get dukes, but you'll also get more XP than if you open the book and read it. If you want to find specific magazines and books, then pay close attention to your skill selection. Most of the skills in the game are tied to a particular book set. For example, Grease Monkey is tied to vehicle adventure books, Physician is tied to medical journal books, and so on. So if you want to find more vehicle adventure books, for example, you want to build the gyrocopter, put a point into Grease Monkey, because it will make a big difference. You'll find considerably more of that particular type of book if you invest just 1 point into the perk. Finishing off this video, I want to talk about a piece of armour. And that piece of armour is the nerd outfit. This is a great way of getting extra skill points from magazines. Instead of opening them as you go, it's definitely worth hanging on to them, wait until you get back to the base, pop in on a nerd outfit, and then opening up all of your magazines, because there is a chance that you will gain an additional point. If you have a level 1 nerd outfit, you get a 5% chance at getting 2 points. Level 2 is 10, level 3 is 15, level 4 is 20, 5 is 25, and 6 is a whopping 50% chance at getting an extra point when reading a book. So when possible, gather as many magazines as you can, head back to your base, and then open them all while wearing a nerd outfit. That's all I've got for this video. This was by no means a fully comprehensive guide to magazines and books. You can and will find them all over the place. I just wanted to highlight some of the best ways to get them. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, let me know. If you didn't, let me know. And I hope to see you in the next video.